Thanks for joining us for another edition of the Creek Catch-Up, talking all things Albion Park harness racing. We return to the Creek this Saturday night. Again, massive numbers, 11 races. We start just after 5 o'clock, and all in all, it's a really good program. The 3-year-old, which is race 9, the Ultimate Tools 3-year-old pace, a really good field because many of these horses that are starting on Saturday night in this event, they're gearing up for the Constellations Carnival plus Q-Bred features later in the year. So there's a lot to look forward to. For Real Life, likely to start favourite after coming up with gate 2 and looking really sharp in a recent trial. He finished off in 26-1. He comes up against Apollo Dreams, who's fresh up. He's only been beaten the ones. That was by Free Thinker, and Free Thinker starts in this race. He's back from that New South Wales Derby campaign, so it's a loaded race. We look forward to that. The Stand Start Open Class race is race number 10. Really good race. Adele goes around in the last race, the Trot. Her sectionals last time out were just unbelievable, and she's looking to make it 3 straight. And Hot and Treacherous steps out as well, going around in race 6. He's going to start really short, but surely this is going to be his race. This is his third go at Albion Park. Unlucky in both runs so far, but on Saturday night he's got gate 1 and he's expected to dominate off the front end. So there's a lot to look forward to, and that coincides with the big meeting coming through from Menangle on Saturday night as well. Plenty of Queensland interest there. Team Raboki down there. They've got plenty of stars stepping out. More Sass, the unbeaten filly. She lines up in that fillies feature down there. Speak the Truth, who was just brilliant first up. 51.9. He goes around. He's up against his stablemate, Some Moment Somewhere, who trialled really well here recently. Van Sang steps out. And then we've got Agent Black, who's going to start the favourite in the 2-year-old trotting feature. Yes, I'll say that again, the 2-year-old trotting feature. And the favourite is the Queenslander there, Agent Black for Shane Graham. And Ironclad steps out for Grant Dixon in the 2-year-old Colson Geldings feature, fresh off his victory here in the APG Gold Bullion at the Creek a couple of weeks ago. So a really strong card, and many of these horses racing in Sydney on Saturday night. I'm sure they're going to be keeping an eye on Queensland features as well. Dual Melody, she'll start a short prize favourite in the 3-year-old fillies final. We've got My Ultimate Ronnie. He's another one that could be a potential candidate for the Rising Sun. And there's a few others there as well. So a really good card, and that dovetails into our program here at Albion Park. 11 races in total. Plenty of trial stars to report on this week as well in this edition of the Creek Catch-Up. Tuesday, we had plenty of stars stepping out. Let's start with the final trial. Captain Shuffles, who returns to racing here next Tuesday. He was able to win his trial in 53.8. Looked really good, beating Bangkok DJ. Third was Midnight Calm. Manila Playboy, a real eye-catcher, running in fourth. Dean Sinofskas taking the drive there. Cat King Cole, that was her second trial back. She easily accounted for her stablemate, Delightful Lou, rated good time as well, 154.4. And there were a few others there, including Black Sedance, the Albion Park track record holder. He went around in a stand start trial, won by an absolute space, rated brilliant time. 156.9 for a 2,138 metre stand. His first half in 58.9, middle half in 56.3, his last half in 55.4. He ran his last mile in 154.3. He looks like he's come back in great shape, Black Sedan. So with the Constellations just around the corner, and with that being a stand-start trial, obviously connections are going to have a look at the Redcliffe Gold Cup as well. So a lot to look forward to from the trials. Danger Zone stepped out on Friday in the trials as well. Big congratulations to Lane Dwyer as well, notching his first win. That came at Redcliffe on Monday night. He's only 16 years of age, young Lane Dwyer. He's the son of Graham and Marty, and I'm sure it's going to be the first of many. So he was able to get the win there on Monday night aboard the Son of Changeover in Little Change. So good to see Laney break his duck there on Monday night. Uptown Beach Girl, she stepped out at the trial. She's gearing up for all of our mares features, and they're fast approaching during the upcoming Constellations. She trialled. She's going to trial again next Wednesday night, and then they'll look for a race start for her. But she's in super order, Uptown Beach Girl, and she is the number one mare here in the state right now. No question about that. Speaking of good mares, and speaking of one that's been largely forgotten in recent times, Talent to Spare for Trent Dawson. She's probably only a couple of weeks away from a trial, a month at the most, but she's coming along quite nicely. So it will be good to see her back in action. Talent to Spare. She's a proven Group 1 performer here at Albion Park. There's been a few that have left the state. Looks like Jason Grimson's going to pick up a few ex-Queensland pacers. Swayze, who was previously prepared by Tim Butt, he's set to join the stables of Jason Grimson. And the trotter of Daryl Graham's Halfpenny Bridge hasn't had a great deal of luck since coming over from New Zealand. It now goes to Sydney and joins the Jason Grimson stable as well. In saying that, we've got a few coming up from Sydney next week. They've got races on Saturday night, APG races. So expect to see Beach Villa and Dance with Somebody join local stables up here. And Tardelli, we're expecting to see him at the trials on Wednesday at Menangle. He was a scratching, but Ricky Alchin said he will trial next week, and he's gearing up for the Queensland Carnival, in particular here at Albion Park over the next couple of months. So there's plenty of news about. We've got plenty of great racing coming up. We'll see you trackside on Saturday night. 11 races starting just after 5.